Today we are going to talk about addictions. Here, when you hear the term addictions, you would be immediately thinking about alcohol or any substance addictions, or you can even think about like drug usage. But here, I'm actually meaning internet addictions or game addictions or any kind of net addictions behavior, because this kind of addictions can also result in mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and most fatally it can even lead to suicide. And recent lot of news, all of you might have heard about Rummy online game, and a lot of people have committed suicide because of that, which is very unfortunate to hear such deaths. But then the very alarming thing is that what can be behind this? What kind of psychological risk factors are we carrying with us? And unknowingly, we are going into this dark web and caught up very soon, which even sucks our whole life out of us. So, this is really alarming to hear. So, we need to know the psychology of net addictions and game addictions as well, and to know how to understand the science of addictions, and also how to recover people from this kind of addictive behavior when they are starting to even go into it, and also how to help these people to recover if they've already been into the rut for a very long time. So this video is going to be of much use to those people who are already getting into the addiction, or of those people who are the caretakers of these people. Like for example, even teenagers, the parents of the teenagers are also getting into a lot of such addictive behavior, not necessarily game addictions, but also addictive to wrong blogs or any kind of message we are getting from the social media. Imagine, I'm going to draw an analogy here. Let's say you're eating a lot of junk foods, some too cheesy foods or biryani or whatever spicy foods, and what happens to your stomach? Your gastrointestinal tract gets definitely upset, and you're getting into a lot of trouble because of that. So it's all very easily attributable to the kind of food you've taken a day before. Very similarly, whatever kind of information you take as an input into your brain can have an impact on your mental health very easily. And also the same thing goes with the kind of friendships and you have and kind of people who we are hanging out with. So this is a little out of the topic. So here I'm going to only focus on things what you're actually exposing yourself to. The time you wake up in the morning until you go into the bed, the first thing you're holding in your hand is your gadget, and it's like you can even compare it with like a poison, a vial of poison, or also you can even think it as a very nice medicine you can have in hand. I would say it is a double-sworded weapon, and how you use it actually decides the consequence. It can be positive as well as fatal. So you need to be really mindful about the kind of internet usage and kind of information you're actually putting your mind into. Imagine, mind is a very beautiful thing we all have. I can even call it as a beautiful mind. There's an English movie by that name. So when I call it a beautiful mind, will you allow such worse things to get into it? Definitely thinking for a minute, we would say no. But just the kind of information we are feeding our mind day in and out, and every minute, every second, as soon as we open our Instagram, the kind of reels we look into it, and the kind of violence, the kind of things which you are actually allowing us to see and reflect on is going to affect our attitudes, our thinking process, our feelings, our behavior, and everything. So here we need to be very careful. And once you are into any kind of gaming, and even if it's going to yield money, especially like I'm talking about your online games which can give money, examples of Rummy online game and all that stuff. So you should understand that you are vulnerable now. Like this is a major risk factor, and you need to know something bad can happen. And I wouldn't say it should happen, but it can happen is the only thing. But why would you allow something to, when we know that it's going to be harmful for your mental health as well as your life as a total. So we need to take a close look at it, and at any point of your life, ask yourself, am I going in the right path? The path I'm traveling, is going to yield into the right direction? Am I going to reach the destination which I really wanted to go, or am I like diverting from the path which I really wanted to go? So everybody has to think this for a moment. And people who are under, like let's say children who are like 10-year-old, 15-year-old might not have this kind of self-analysis to do. So parents, you are the person who has to be protective of those people even until 18 years, I would say. Maybe after that you're an adult, you can take care of this, you can have self-control, you have your own brain to self-analyze and correct yourself. But for people who are under 18, you are at the mercy of your parents. Parents are the ones who are like going to protect you. So parents, you need to really monitor the kind of information your children are exposed to, because it's alarming to hear from my counseling sessions that the kind of things our children are getting into in the name of like a smartphone when you give them, it's really dangerous. But then again, I'm not alarming the parents to say that you don't even give smartphones to them. All I'm telling you is trust them as well as monitor them, and also there are a lot of apps which is there to get like what your teens are into, and when you have an open communication with them, the trust develops, and I'm sure they themselves will come and tell you the kind of information which is like bothering them or concerning them. There should be that open channel of communication, and through that bridge they can definitely talk to you each and everything whatever is bothering them. But then the key here is you need to monitor the kind of information, because recently I had few clients who have been telling me that there are a lot of blogs which are writing about suicidal stuff, and amongst the teenagers about this kind of music they are listening, and about the BTS you would have heard about. So all this kind of things which may say that they are boosting the self-esteem, but then we don't know the other consequences of it. When they are exposed to that for a very long time, it can be as addictive as you are addicted to similar to your drugs and alcohol. So the kind of content your children are actually taking every day, about if they're going to read about violent stuff and are going to read about toxic relationship, it's all going to have a very negative impact on their life, and they might even think one day to even take off their life. They can start doing self-harm. They can, just because it's called observational learning and social learning, we are learning from the media, which is going to be having a powerful impact on their behavior as well as their thinking process, as well as their, most importantly, their emotions. So all I'm telling parents is to please monitor the kind of information, and please, if you can't monitor like a CCTV camera all 24/7, just have a pep talk with them, and I'm sure they will vomit whatever they wanted to tell you if they have that kind of trust with you, and if you're not going to judge them, if you're not going to be hard on them. So they would tell you, and you can then guide them to the right things. And there are a lot of good informations on net. I'm not like telling the complete network is wrong. It is as I already told, it's a double sword weapon. Please expose them to a lot of positive things, constructive things, which is going to make them feel more confident, and everything is there on net which is very constructive as well. Please divert them towards those sites. And you may ask me, like, what kind of people may be like more vulnerable? Especially people who are like very lonely and having low self-esteem, a lot of family pressures and too much of stress, and children as well as adults, usually they get attracted towards this all online gaming and social media stuff, majorly because they want to escape from reality. They're so having the pain with the reality, that they would just want to escape and go to a fantasy world that's called gaming, and where they feel good about their own talents and skills, that everybody is praising them. There is a virtual community of people following them, and people are liking them. So this is the kind of virtual world they want to live in, and when they face a real world, it's going to be very harsh and very discounting and rejecting, and they might feel a sense of abandonment. That's the reason they put themselves to this kind of online world. So maybe the risk factor is that they're having low self-esteem, or they have low social skills, they have social anxiety, they don't want to talk to people because of all these reasons. That's the reason they are more attracted towards this media. And how would you know that your child or any adult in your family is addicted? Very important symptoms are similar to alcohol addictions or drug addictions per se. Like they all the time think about it, all the time they think about the gaming, all the time they think about the social media, and when they're not actually into social media or into gaming, they might keep thinking about it, and they refuse to come to any other functions or any other parties also. They just want to withdraw from the society, and they just want to all the time 24/7. The time they are going to spend on to playing the games or watching social media is going to be much more higher, let's say like 9 to 10 hours per day, and it keep increasing like a tolerance effect we have in alcohol addiction. Similarly, like a drug tolerance, here also net tolerance. Earlier they have been watching this media like a YouTube or anything for 3 to 4 hours, and now they would watch it for 6 to 7 hours to feel the same thing. So this kind of increase in behavior and irritability, when you're going to stop them from seeing that they'll be much more irritable, then they throw tantrums at you and they make it extremely angry. When they're not playing, they may be very sad, dejected. And also one more important sign is that when they're not actually into it, and when they're not able to focus on their school or college work, or into, if a person is working, even an adult cannot focus on his work. Probably he'll all be parallelly playing the games when he's actually supposed to be doing the office work. So when it's going to interfere with their everyday functioning, with the kind of which is going to interfere with their work or occupation or any kind of personal life, then we could call it as an addiction. And when a person who is listening to this, if you could understand that you're already into the web of addiction, please seek help. You have to find out an alternate, like some help to come out of this rut which you're deeply getting into. Or please, the self-awareness would help you. Or if you really couldn't find out, the caretakers or people who are with this, who are on the verge of getting addicted, please talk to them, have open conversation with them, be more listening, don't keep advising them. They may be in the verge of suicide also, we don't know what's happening with them. They might have lost a lot of money, they might have lost their self-respect, they might have lost everything in their life. They would really think that suicide is the only solution for them. And there are a lot of telltale signs. I will give you in the link about the suicidal signs and all that. Please save some life. And these are the very clear telltale signs, behavioral signs, which you could see in your people, loved ones, and also friends. And when they are willing to talk to you, please give them all ears to save a life. And most of the times these people withdraw from others, so it is very difficult to help them because they don't seek help. So, but then when you really care for your loved ones, when they show some abnormality, please take them to a psychologist or psychiatrist accordingly. Or if you really don't want to do that, at least have a first aid talk to them. That is very healing. Just listening will do. No need to advise, as I already told you. So all this can definitely be very good for preventing yourself or your loved ones from getting into addiction, and also recovering them from the addiction. And recovery from addiction is a long process, and it may definitely require improving your self-esteem and also improving your changing your way of thinking and changing your lifestyle and totally everything. There might be some alternate given for this addiction, and then I'm sure there is a great life awaiting all of you. And it's not the end. Please don't ever think this is the end. This is just the beginning. And awareness is the key, and knowing that online addiction is also equivalent to substance abuse addictions or alcohol abuse, whatever we call it. And please be aware of the grave consequences of it and render help and get help. So please do share this video for as much as possible, so that a lot of them can benefit from it, and ultimately it can even save lives. And also please subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed yet. If you want me to talk on any particular topic, please put it in the comment section, and I'll meet you soon with yet another interesting topic. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.